guys, this is Sophia from HR91 Group, and today I have such a pleasure to invite our Angie to be the first guest of our interview.
Thank you for having me. My name is Angie. I am 17 years old. I work with the marketing team for HR91, specifically with the Singapore team, and I'm from Bangkok, Thailand.
Welcome! So this is your first interview?
Yeah.
I'm very curious because you are 17 years old, currently still studying at high school.
Yeah.
And what makes you start looking for internship?
I've always wanted to use like my high school years wisely. I wanted to explore, and especially being in Shanghai right now, I think it's a great opportunity. There are so many different ventures and adventures I could take.
Yeah.
Right now for university, I'm thinking of doing a marketing course, and I thought it would be a great opportunity to kind of explore into that field and see if it's really suitable for me. One of the things I do is make Instagram posts for Recruit First, and the most recent post is one of the posts that I've done. This was the first one that was published, so it was definitely like a big moment for me, and I was freaking out a bit.
You must be really proud of that moment.
I took like so many screenshots and sent them to all of my friends and family.
So Angie, you have been working here for almost half a month, and what is the biggest challenge so far?
The biggest challenge for me so far is definitely adapting myself to actually being in a company. Being a business student myself, I've learned things like what it is that the marketing function does and all that, but to actually work in a marketing function is totally different to what I learned in a textbook.
I think you have already, how to say, exceeded what your peers are doing right now, right? What are they doing during summer?
Partying. You know what? I think it's great. Yeah. I think it's great. It's good to work hard and play hard. So I'll definitely have a rest after this.
So Angie, after this internship, you will be returning to school.
Yeah.
And then after graduation of high school, you will be facing one of the most important choices. What is your plan?
Wait for university.
Yeah, for university.
Oh, okay. So my plan for university is right now going to the UK.
Oh,
yeah.
Going to UK.
I've lived there before for 3 years, so I feel like I've got like a sense of familiarity with that. And my dream like course is digital marketing as a bachelor's degree.
That is definitely the future.
Yeah, or just marketing in general. I think it would provide me with such a great path to a future career.
I think you're really like devoted to marketing career. And for that, you started early as a high school student, but you already put yourself into marketing internship.
Yeah.
We are going to move on into a little bit casual questions.
Okay.
Off work. I am wondering, so you're from Thailand.
Yes.
Which city specifically?
I am from Bangkok, Thailand.
It's the capital of Thailand.
Yeah, the capital of Thailand.
How is the life in Bangkok?
It's very relaxed, I think, growing up. Like, it's a lot more slow-paced compared to Shanghai, I think.
Okay.
But it was like a mix of country and city, which I think is
That is the like dream life.
Yeah.
Like you can both enjoy the convenience brought by the city, but also relaxing.
Yeah, you can
lifestyle.
drive a little bit and then you'll see the city, which I love, and then drive a little bit more and then you'll see the country.
Wow. Invite me to
Of course.
I was in Chiang Mai for 1.5 months, but we lived like really far from the city. We need to take 2 hour, not 2 hour, but 1.5 hour taxi into the city of Chiang Mai. But I gotta say, the countryside life in Thailand or in Chiang Mai is really, really relaxing.
Yes.
They're not in a rush.
Yeah.
Unlike people in Shanghai city or in other, first tier cities, people work for life. They live for work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Thai people, I feel like, generally are very, this is from my experience at least, like in Thailand, there isn't as many people as in China. I think our lifestyle kind of is more relaxed, and we have this phrase in Thailand called sabai sabai, which means chill out.
Chill out.
Yeah.
Wow, now we're turning into language lesson. Wait, what is that again?
Sabai sabai.
Sabai sabai.
Sabai is like comfortable.
Comfortable. How you use that like in real context?
So let's say someone is really stressed out. Someone has been working a long day at work, and you're just like chill out. Sabai sabai.
Oh, really? You just call someone like chill out, sabai sabai, like that.
Yeah.
It's a really useful one. I'm wondering if we have anything Chinese like that. Sabai sabai.
可以吗?
It's kind of weird. Like, it's weird. Okay, I'll think about that later. Speaking of language, I want to like show off a little bit of my Thai.
Okay, let's go.
This is totally not prepared for like, but I will give it a go.
Okay.
So basic one is like,
yeah.
and also like, 光水晶晶.
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 Oh,
you can use that when you're bargaining with.
oh, that's very smart. You compliment them, right?
Yeah, you just come like, you're so beautiful, please cheaper.
Yeah. And they're like, oh yeah, totally.
So for anyone who wants to travel in Thailand, you need to learn that.
光水晶晶 means you're so beautiful.
I found out like Thai people are so nice. They like to use ka after
yes.
every sentence, even English.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. They add their own touch to any language they speak.
Could we have some example?
You might say, oh, thank you. Anyone will say thank you.
Yeah.
A Thai person will go, thank you ka, or thank you ka. Ka.
That's actually so cute.
Yeah, it's just a polite way to put any phrase, to say any phrases basically.
Anything?
Yeah, you typically say ka or ka to older people or people who you respect. It shows your respect and it just makes everything more polite.
Okay.
Hearing that around you just makes you feel like more positive and
That's true.
Yeah.
Even though I don't speak Thai, but when you say thank you, Ka, I will feel
Yeah.
like my heart is softened. So we should go back to the question.
oh yeah, what were the questions?
Yeah, we actually made a list where we spent like a lot of time on language.
Yeah.
Thank you for the time
Oh,
lesson.
you're welcome.
We were talking about the lifestyle in Bangkok or in Thailand in general, but now you are in Shanghai city. And we all know Shanghai is, could we call it like the fastest pace
It's
city
very
in
fast-paced,
China, right? What is the biggest difference between Bangkok and Shanghai?
Like I previously mentioned before, the work culture is very different. I've never worked in Thailand, but because I left when I was like 9 years old, so yeah, so
very young age.
but I know from my mom and from the people around me, I could see the way they work is so different to how Chinese people work. We take breaks very seriously. From my perspective at least, like we definitely, know when to stop, like lunchtime. No work.
You cannot stop Thai people from taking a break.
Yeah,
Is that right?
they know how to work hard, but they also know how to take a break, which I think is a very balanced lifestyle.
It is.
Yeah.
You need to have a balance
You need-
between
yeah.
work and life.
Yeah, so they're very sabai-sabai.
Oh, here it goes.
Yeah, I'm just gonna drop that in there. But yeah, they do work hard, but they also prioritize, being with family and friends and spending time relaxing, which I really think is important.
It is.
Yeah.
Family priority.
And it's also like, just in general, school, work, it's more slower paced, everything moves slower. And in China, I feel like there's a crowd and it's always bustling, which I love. Like, I love the vibrant city of Shanghai. But I think a mixture of those two would go perfectly. Like the more slow-paced lifestyle in Bangkok, and then the fast-paced lifestyle in Shanghai here together, I think would just like be the perfect mix.
You are going to school, high school here in Shanghai, and I presume that is international.
Yes.
And you must have a lot of international friends or classmates.
Yeah.
I'm not quite familiar. I'm not familiar at all actually with the international school life in Shanghai because growing up I went to like typical Chinese public schools.
Okay.
So may I ask, how is the life like in international schools here?
So it's definitely diverse. So many countries, like all in one school. I think my school has like 175. Like,
are you
countries?
serious? 175.
I think so.
I think globally we only have 186 countries.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I might need to fact check that. I'm not totally sure, but yeah, like
If it's true, that's crazy.
yeah,
That's like
that is
global
very crazy.
village.
Yeah, I don't think that's right.
We'll double check that.
Yeah, we'll double check that. But let's just say there are a lot of like countries, like
Yeah.
nationalities, ethnicities, and I think it's great. Because when I was living in Thailand, I went to like a Thai school. It was not an international school, so
A Thai school in Shanghai.
no. When I was living in Thailand,
Oh.
yeah. So
Okay.
comparing that to right now, where I'm in like an international environment, it's very different. And to meet so many friends from so many countries, you learn about all their cultures, their accents.
Accents.
Yeah, accents.
Oh my
I think
God.
it's a big one. When I think like the more I listen to my friends speak, the more I talk like them. So like one of my
No, you don't
close-
have accent.
really?
Yeah.
Because one of my closest friends, she has like this really strong British accent.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
and some words. When I find myself when I say some words, it sounds a little bit British.
Like water.
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 I get a glass of water.
And it's so British.
So
Oh my
British,
God.
and I always make fun of her because it's like it's just so different. Like our accents, the way we grew up, and I think
Yeah.
that is so interesting. I always talk to like my friends about how their families are and like what kind of food they eat back home, and like I also, when I go traveling, when we could travel.
Well, it was like really years ago.
What, like 2 years ago or something, when I went back to Thailand, I brought like these like little gifts from Thailand back to Shanghai, and I gave them all to my friends, and it was like little keychains that was made from like traditional Thai fabric, which you can't get here or anywhere outside.
Traditional Thai fabric.
I think it's from Shanghai actually, like the really, and it came in like little keychains, and I gave them all to them, and they were like very confused. They were like, I've never seen this type of like fabric before, and I was like, yeah, that's Thailand. So I think it's great that we get to like exchange cultures, being the
diversity.
Yeah, the diversity is great.
You live in Shanghai and you have been traveling to other countries before. You lived in UK, and what is the most shocking moment for you as a Thai local who lives overseas?
There is one thing that when I was talking to my British friend about, and when I was living in the UK, I saw that people were moving out of their houses when they were 18 years old.
Gosh,
and we don't do that in Thailand. Like my mom would like have me stay in her house until I'm old. You know what I mean? It's definitely different because she always says, no matter how old you are, you're always my little baby. And
that's actually sweet.
Yeah, and she definitely wants me to stay in her house. I think that's her mentality. You know?
Gosh, I hope you will not be there when you're 60.
Me too.
But definitely we should cherish the Asian parents, their unconditional love for us.
Yeah.
And I relate on that because I go to school in Europe. So I have some European friends. They moved out, maybe not at the age of 18, but when they started college or after college graduation, they moved out as soon as they could. And I actually admire their courage because moving out, living by yourself is not easy at all.
Not easy.
But also, I think the connection between them and their parents is like gradually fading out.
Yeah,
I think you live in one place.
Yeah, it's natural. Like as the distance increases, like it's more likely for you to not be as close anymore.
Yeah.
But when you're living together, like you get to know each other every day, so it definitely builds a stronger connection.
Thank you for the cultural sharing, and I think a lot of people can relate to that, especially people who have lived overseas, right? Okay, then here comes to our last question. As someone who has, how long have you been in Shanghai?
2 years.
2 years. As someone who has been living in Shanghai for 2 years, what is the most fun place for you in Shanghai?
For me, I actually have two.
Two? Okay.
Yeah, so let's start with like a more common one.
Okay.
This one everyone kind of knows if you're in Shanghai, which is Nanjinglu.
Nanjinglu is a walking street. Yeah. A lot of shops. Yeah.
What I used to do with my friends is go there, browse, go walk around. We didn't buy anything, but we would just walk. Like, do you not feel joy when you like touch things, look at clothes, and you're just like, wow.
But no shopping, just
if we saw something we liked, then we probably bought it. But like, I think for me the joy was with walking around and looking, like window shopping,
Understood.
Yeah.
Window shopping.
And I love like how there were so many different stores and people were everywhere. It's like so vibrant.
Yeah.
It's definitely
so many people.
So many people. If you want to go there, you have to be prepared that there are going to be a lot of people. Yeah. But I think it's worth it. Like the experience there is really cool.
Yeah. So this is the first recommendation. What is next?
Second one is it's a smaller place. It's actually where I live, which is Jingqiao.
Jingqiao?
Yeah.
Jingqiao. Oh, which district is that?
Jingqiao. I don't know if it's.
I've never. Sorry, but I've been here only for 2 months.
Maybe it's my pronunciation. I don't know.
Okay. So what is from there?
A supermarket. We have a Jellafo.
Jellafo.
Which is really cool. And then inside of the Jellafo there is so many, like there's a food court with so many different like food stalls, and we have an Intern there.
Which is everywhere.
Yeah, but that one's special. That one holds a special place in my heart.
I'll check it out.
There should be like a travel vlog,
There should be. Waiting for the next episode.
Stay tuned for the travel vlog with Sophia.
But even though I don't want to, we have to wrap up the show. Not show. Interview. This is still about an internship. It is still.
I feel like we've been talking about everything.
Yeah. It's so fun. Thank you for
having me. It's been a pleasure.
We're gonna say bye-bye and can we do like sabai?
Yes.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Sabai.